Today's lesson is Chapter 8, Lesson 6, Write and Graph Inequalities. So our goal for this lesson is for you guys to be able to write an inequality as well as graph that inequality. We don't have any vocabulary for this lesson, but make sure that you guys are doing some of the sample problems because this is going to be new content for you for graphing purposes, so make sure in your notebooks you guys are following along. Okay, so for inequalities, you can relate it to real-world situations. So the first one, Jessica spent more than $5 at the arcade. So I have numbers 1 through 15 here. These numbers could go on forever, but this is just an example. If she spent more than $5, she could have spent 6, because that's more than 5, 7, 8, 9. She could have spent all the way up to 15. Okay, any of those numbers would work. So what you're saying then is that Jessica, sorry, I want a pen. Jessica, which is X, spent more than $5. Okay, so you're showing all of those numbers. Number 2, less than 6 people rang the bell at the mallet game. So less than 6 people. So it can't be 6, it's got to be less than 6. So 5 would work, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and so on. That could go on forever. All of these numbers would be less than 6. Okay, so if I was to write that, it would be X less than 6. Okay, 3. There were less than 10 people in line for the Ferris wheel. So less than 10, it can't be 10, it's got to be less than 10. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Any of those solutions would work. Any number less than 10. So if I was to write that, it would be X less than 10. Okay, let's continue. It costs more than 6 tokens to ride the bumper cars. So not 6, more than 6. So 7 would work, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All of those numbers would work. Number 5, there are less than 8 lemonade stands. So less than 8 would be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All of those. And then more than 12 different flavors. So more than 12, 13, 14, 15. All of those. Okay, and then so I would write this as X is greater than 7. X greater than 7. X is less than 8. X is greater than 12. All right, so in your lesson or in your homework, you're going to be given a set of words or a problem, and then you need to make it into an equation. So you must be over 12 years old to ride the go-karts. So in words, your age must be over 12. So looking back at my problem, your age must be over 12. Your age be over 12. Okay, so I put it in words. Then what I want to do is I want to set my variable. So 12 is a number. Is over, we know, is greater than, so we'd use that symbol. And so what we don't know is the age. So we're going to have A be the age. And then the inequality would be A for age is over greater than 12. So the inequality would be written as A is over or greater than 12. Okay, so you see how we went from words to an inequality. That's going to be your goal, to write an inequality. Okay, so my first step is to set the variable. based on the word. So a pony is less than 4.2 hands tall. So pony less than 4.2. P is going to be my variable for pony. Okay, then after that I need to switch words to inequality. Okay, so I have my P is less than, did that, did my P, 14.2. And that's all I need to do. I wrote an inequality. That was one of our goals. Okay, the next one, you must be at least, that's important, 16 years old to have a driver's license. So, I know this is my symbol one, this is my number, now I need to set my variable. U, so let's do Y for you. You must be at least. So can I be 16? Yes. So I need to be either older than 16 or 16, so greater than or equal to 16. This is me. This is Miss Conlon, and I need to be either 16 or older in order to drive. Okay? Okay, so we know how to write an inequality. Now we're going to graph the inequality. Now this is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. We aren't going to be graphing on a coordinate plane. We're just going to be graphing these on a number line. Okay, so remember what a number line is. That's where you just have the line with the arrows, 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. So that's our number line, remember that? So I'm going to erase that. This is super important, this next part. What you need to do in your notebooks is have this written down, okay? You need to write that when it's the less than sign, you have an open dot. When you have a greater than sign, it's an open dot, okay? So when you plot the point on your number line, say x is greater than 1, you're going to have an open dot at 1, and then you would draw an arrow this way because all the numbers greater than 1 are that way on the number line. Okay, so those are open dots. Closed dots, so filled in, so if I was to fill that dot in, that would be if it was telling me to graph something where it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Notice the ones with the line on the bottom, those have the closed dots. The ones without the line on the bottom, those have the open dots. This is super important, so get this written down. Okay, on this slide, it's kind of going to show you the steps to follow when you graph an inequality. So up here is my inequality, n greater than 9. Okay, so looking in your notebook, is my dot going to be open or closed? Well, if it doesn't have the or equal to line under the symbol, I know my dot is going to be open. Okay, n is greater than 9, so let's list the numbers that are greater than 9. 10 is greater than 9, 11 is greater than 9, 12 is greater than 9, and so on. Any number bigger than 9 is greater. So on my number line, what you can see up here is they made a dot at 9, which was open, and then they drew a thicker line to represent all of these numbers, the 10, 11, 12. So based off that graph, I know that it's all numbers greater than 9. And it's open because it's not including 9. It's just all the numbers bigger than 9. Okay, so I'm going to try it with these two problems. I'm first going to try it with this problem right up here, and I have A is less than 15. So I know I'm going to be at 15. So right here is 15. Now I need to determine if my point that I'm going to plot, is that going to be closed or open? Well, from my notes I look and I see that it's not an equal to, so it's going to be open because it does not include 15. A is less than 15. So let's think of numbers that are less than 15. 14, 13, 12, all those numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a thick line to include all of those numbers and an arrow to show that it goes all the way, forever and ever. Now remember, I did not include 15 because 15 is not less than 15, it's equal to 15. So that's why there's an open dot there. Okay, I'm going to use my eraser just to kind of, okay, maybe not. All right, I'll just use red pen. Okay, B is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, so I need to look where 7 is, and then I'm going to determine is my dot open or closed. Well, it could be equal to 7, so my dot is closed. Greater than 7, so 8, 9, 10, any of those numbers. So I'm going to draw my thick line to represent all of those numbers, and it's going to go to the right because it's all the numbers bigger than 7 and 7 included. That's why the dot is filled in. Okay, now we have a word problem. Traffic on a residential street can travel at speeds of no more, that's important I'm guessing, no more than 25 miles per hour. Write and graph an inequality to describe the possible speeds on the street. So S is going to represent speed. And my speed cannot be anything bigger than 25. So my speed needs to be less than 25. Can it be equal to 25? Yes. Okay, so S is less than or equal to 25. I'm going to mark that on my graph. It includes 25, so my dot is closed, and it's all numbers less than 25. Now be careful because up here I underlined no more than. And when you look at that, you might think, oh, more than, greater than, so you might put the greater than sign. But you need to be careful. That's not true because speeds can't be bigger than 25. So speeds have to be less than 25. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of reflect on our lesson, and our goal of this lesson was to be able to write inequalities. Write inequalities. So if I can take a sentence and say that x is greater than 4, if I can do that based off of a problem, then I'm able to write an inequality. Can I graph an inequality? Well, in order to graph an inequality, you need to determine if it's open or closed. You need to create a number line, probably including 4. So I'll put 4 in the middle. 5, 6, 7, 3, 2. Okay, I need to be able to graph this. It's open because it doesn't include 4, and it's numbers that are greater than 4. So my arrow is going to go this way and includes all the numbers bigger. So if you can do both of those things, you have mastered this lesson.